Shalom out there, brothers and sisters. Let's try to get into this. So we got bulletin. All right. That's great. So we got bulletin. All right. That's great. Hold on, y'all. And this time we ain't talking about vocab alone, right? This is great. So anxious to do another lesson, not dealing with that devil. All right, here we go. All right, Shalom. All praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. All right. All praise Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, as I said. All right. And double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect out there, brothers and sisters. All right. So I'm just glad to be doing another lesson that's not dealing with vocab alone, which really at the end of the day, we do those lessons out of, duty to the ministry, defending the gospel. It's just like a situation where when you get opportunity, if you see or hear somebody teaching lies or teaching false doctrine, it's almost as if your brain, and it's probably just the Most High, won't let us rest until we get those videos done. So we got them out of the way. Lord willing, now we can get back to our regular scheduled program, which is talking about the prophecies and different things going on. And right now you have many lessons going on. I was just watching the Elder Apostles, man. I didn't want to click off of there to do my own lesson, but I want to get this lesson done so that when the fast is up, I can eat and drink something. Because my mind now, I'm starting to get weak. My head's starting to hurt a little bit. I've been dry. I've been feeling dry, thirsty, or whatever. But I want to get this lesson done. All right. Because when the fast is up, I'm gonna be on it. I'm gonna be eating and drinking. Anyway, this lesson is entitled, This is News, Extreme Weather Coast to Coast, Russia shuts down gas pipeline, etc. All right, because there's many things going on in the news. All right. So let's get a scripture real quick here. We'll read a few. Of course, this is a classic and a favorite, Jeremiah 28, verse 8. And it reads, The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries. We are not the prophets that holler out, God bless America. We don't give a shit about America nor these kingdoms on this planet, because we want our Savior to come and set up the kingdom of heaven on the earth. So the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. So we prophesy of the things that are coming against these kingdoms of the world, of war, evil, and pestilence. We know that World War III is coming. We know that evil is coming in the form of the MOTB, the mark of the beast, in the form of FEMA camps, in the form of Jacob's trouble. War, evil, and pestilence. And we've been talking about the pestilence, different diseases coming on the earth. And this is the main reason why we prophesy against these kingdoms. Revelation 11 and 15. And the seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, The kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his anointed, and he shall reign forever and ever. See, so the kingdom of heaven can't come. We can't be at peace and at ease until these kingdoms fall. And we wait patiently for these kingdoms to fall. See, let's get one more here. Daniel. And that book of Daniel has provided great edification for us today. Going to Daniel 9, Daniel chapter 2, as we're in it now, earlier today. This is Daniel chapter 2 and verse 44. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. This is what we're waiting for. A kingdom that will never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. See, so the kingdom of heaven is coming on the earth. It's going to break in pieces all these kingdoms. America, Babylon the Great is going to be over with. It's going to be thrown down. Right? Let's get a couple more here. Let's go here to Second Ezra chapter 13. I'm sorry, chapter 16. Going right to 14. It says, hold on, y'all. Second Ezra 16 and verse 14. It says, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. We're waiting for the Lord to send more plagues. The main plague we're waiting for the Lord to send is the plague of hell, which is nuclear missiles or nuclear warheads. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Currently, you got um, wildfires burning hard over there in California. Like as an arrow which is shot out of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And that links up with Matthew chapter, what is it, 24, right? The beginning of sorrows. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. See, so people don't want to repent for the wickedness that they're doing. The Lord is punishing the earth. You got floods in Pakistan, floods in now here Georgia. Remember when Kentucky was just flooded, and most of Europe was flooded over last few months. I mean, the Lord is doing a lot. Also, you're hearing South Korea, I believe it is. It might be about to get hit with a typhoon. I think there's a typhoon in Japan going on right now. There's a lot of plagues, weather-wise, going on the earth. But the Lord says, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even now, food is still, even though prices are high, people can still get food and eat it, at a pretty good, you can eat pretty good, as they say right now in Babylon the Great, even still. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. See, evils are growing upon the earth. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And I was just thinking about it as I was reading this, as we going through the Day of Atonement. We in pretty good shape over here in Babylon the Great, but shit, even now, it's just been one day. Really, it's been one day since we had anything to eat or drink, and I'm already getting a headache. You know what I mean? So just imagine we got to go long periods of time against our will and be without food and water. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, but Lord willing, we'll have the strength to get to endure it. This is JMS Harakah. Shalom, brother. Hope your brother's doing good down there. Zechariah 14 and 12, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And this is what the Lord is going to bring. He's going to bring a nuclear plague. He's going to put that on people. All those that fought against the Israelites, the Lord is going to bring that nuclear plague, namely to Babylon the Great. But we know it's going to hit Russia and various other parts of the world, Israel, right? Our homeland, to cleanse it. Let's get right here. This is Romans 13 and verse 11. I start at 10. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. It's time for the Israelites to wake up, in which really the majority of the Israelites, and I wonder why my comment board is not updating here. Just hold on, brothers. Maybe it's on the other page. I don't know. Yeah. So right now you got a lot of Israelites that are waking up to the truth, but you still got many more who have yet to awaken. We believe that there are many of the elect still alive or still awaiting to be awakened, or we waiting for them to wake up, should we say. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to wake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. Right. We're very close to salvation, right? The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light, which is the truth, right? The armor of light is the truth. The truth of the Holy Bible. Hold on, brothers. Let me just check something out here. Got a good little bit of people over there on the other stream too, which is good. It's good. I'm all right with it. That's why I wanted to get this other page some little bit of a little bit of flow over there on the other page as well. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. We gotta, to the best of our ability, stop sinning, keep it to a minimum, serve the Lord and stay in this truth. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness. And you look up these words for a good study. But put ye on the Lord Yahushua Hamashiach and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. And that's our prayer for us and for you. So with no further ado, let's get into a little bit of news here. All right, this is a great scripture. This is you see the name of the person. Second Esdras 15:49, the mark after the so and so. I will send plagues upon the widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence to waste our houses with destruction and death. This is what the Lord is going to do. Got another one here? Yeah, so we're going to go ahead on and just launch off and get this news now. All right. And this videos, man, video after video from the Brotherhood just pouring out. So let's go ahead and start with we'll start with the main news this time. This right here is NBC nightly news from last night, September 4th, right? As we're still in the Day of Atonement for about 30 or 40 more minutes now here in South Carolina anyway. So let's go ahead and play this news. Check it out.
Tonight, the extreme weather.
Hold on there. We had a little thing with the sound. Here we go. Before we do that, let me take myself off the screen, check this volume. Hold on, y'all. It's coming. Here we go, man.
Tonight, the extreme weather coast to coast this holiday weekend. Catastrophic flooding in Georgia. Homes and cars submerged. The governor declaring a state of emergency. While out west, wildfires and dangerous heat. An entire neighborhood burned to the ground.
Come on.
Dozens of homes destroyed. 46 million now sweltering as temperatures reach record highs. Plus, the massive dust storm that knocked out power to thousands. Deadly off-campus college party in Virginia. Multiple students shot, 2 people dead. Just one of so many violent incidents nationwide this weekend. People fleeing in fear at one Midwestern fair. A son arrested in the kidnapping of Memphis teacher, but he won't say where she is. It's showing new details of how she was taken and the message from her family.
We believe knows what happened and can help.
Her wiping away tears. Former President Trump at a rally blasting the FBI for what he calls abuses of power, what he revealed about which rooms they searched in his home.
Leaving everything they touched in far different conditions.
No end in sight. The director of FEMA saying she doesn't know when drinkable water will be restored to Jackson, Mississippi. And Dean Royce, the everyday people taking the spotlight on one of the most famous stages in the world.
NBC Nightly News. No.
Good evening. On this holiday weekend, we begin with severe weather disrupting life in so many corners of America. A state of emergency declared in Georgia after torrential rains dumped over 2 inches of rain an hour overnight. A 100-year-old community in Northern California, home after home burned ground. Just learned 2 people there, and firefighters They're battling that blaze in the midst of an oppressive heat wave. Just look at how much of the country is facing temperatures well above normal, 25 degrees higher than average in some cases. Let's begin tonight with Raf Sanchez.
Tonight, torrential rain sparking flash floods across North Georgia. Roads washed out with 12 inches of rain falling in some areas in a matter of hours. This backyard transformed into a lake. The governor declaring a state of emergency, and residents of the city of Somerville told to boil water before drinking it after flooding at a nearby plant.
The water has not receded, and it's going to be at least a day or two before we can assess the damages that have taken place at our water plant.
11 million across the region under flood alerts through Labor Day, as far as Indiana, where sheriffs discovered one dead. Meanwhile, in California, the small town of Weed is coming to terms with its losses.
Damn.
Dozens of homes destroyed, with the historically black neighborhood of Lincoln Heights the center of the devastation. A 100-year-old community erased by flames in just a few hours.
I ran
And Salakia, this thing keep buffering. I got a number of screens open, so it's still doing that. But I think if I heard right, it said a historic black community. Let's go back a little bit. Completely wiped out.
The small town of Weed is coming to terms with its losses. Dozens of homes destroyed, with the historically black neighborhood of Lincoln Heights the center of the devastation. A 100-year-old community erased by flames in just a few hours.
I ran and turned on the water faucet in the neighbor's backyard. It was completely on fire.
A tragedy all too familiar for Robert and Barbara Thomas, whose home burned along with their granddaughters down the block, just 8 years after their relatives lost everything in a 2014 fire.
There's a lot of mental anguish. There's a lot of hurting in this community now.
Across the West, 46 heats, with many again facing potentially record-setting triple-digit temperatures.
Damn.
In California, the demand on the power grid is intensifying. The effort to keep California's lights on is being directed from control centers like this. So far, the grid is held strong, but today will bring some of the hottest temperatures yet. Authorities have been warning residents for days about the potential for rolling blackouts.
Those last few days are likely to be a dress rehearsal for what's going to be a much more significantly stressed set of conditions here.
While in Arizona, this massive dust storm left thousands without power near Phoenix, disrupting traffic and dimming Friday night lights. A holiday weekend of extremes that few will forget.
And Raf joins me now from Los Angeles, where I think it's 107 degrees, Raf, right now. What more do we know about those deaths in Northern California and the fires?
Yeah, Kate, authorities have been searching the area for 2 days, but only just confirming those deaths. Meanwhile, utilities here still concerned about overwhelming the power grid. The top danger, too much and too many people at home cranking the air conditioning. Kate?
All right, Raf, thank you. In Virginia, 2 people have died after someone opened fire at a college party packed with students overnight. Police are still searching.
All right, we're gonna pause that one right there. I want to go and get a little bit more on this heat wave and these wildfires going on. And sometimes you got a lot of screens open. Sometimes this thing does delay a little bit. Tired of that. This is gonna be from, what is this? ABC News. Record-setting heat wave grips the West, is what it says. The erupting wildfires are creating dangerous conditions for firefighters. See if we can play this. And the Lord is, putting a lot of plagues on the world in general. Let's give you the link to it, and then we'll play the video. Here we go.
Exploding wildfire in Northern California, forcing thousands of people from their homes, and the record-setting heat wave there, making fighting the fire even more of a challenge. ABC's Alex joins us from Weed, California with more. Alex, good morning.
Good morning tonight. Take a look behind me. This Dodge truck completely burnt out. The bumper is actually melted. The structure behind it completely destroyed. This mill fire has already torched so much in this community. It's why California Governor Gavin Newsom has declared a state of emergency to help fight this fire.
This morning, the fast-moving mill fire leaving destruction across Northern California. The flames destroying multiple homes and vehicles as the fire explodes to almost 4,000 acres. This video taken by firefighters rushing to respond. Traffic out of town backed up as nearly 7,500 residents try to flee. Overnight, Governor Gavin Newsom issuing a state of emergency to support crews battling the growing flames. This as temperatures continue to rise in the state, increasing the risk of power outages and heat-related illnesses.
If you see anybody with any signs, even a little nausea, or your friend complains that they have a headache, if you know you have an older neighbor next door, go check in on them.
And in Southern California, the city of Glendale dealing with another scorcher.
If you had any plans of doing any sort of outdoor activity, not in the shade, good luck. We're here on this basketball court, the temperature coming in at 135 degrees.
This family visiting from Tucson with advice on braving the triple-digit temps.
Hat, sunscreen, proximity to water, so like the splash pad is here. And then the kids always bring their water bottles, so ice water is a must.
The heat is especially dangerous for those working outdoors. And with Californians tempted to blast their ACs, Los Angeles area officials issuing multiple flex alerts asking people to practice energy conservation at home.
We want to make sure that we are getting these transformers to our districts as close to the customers as possible, so that if there were to be an outage, they're not waiting for supplies, that the supplies will be ready for them.
And Janae, back here in Weed, this mill fire 0% contained, a red flag warning issued as firefighters prepare to battle winds higher than 30 miles an hour. Janae?
Wow. All right, Alex, thank you for that update. Now let's get the latest on those red flag warnings that Alex just mentioned in Northern California and the heat for the holiday weekend. Danielle Breezy from our Nashville station, WKRN, is here. Danielle, that heat is not what they need.
No, not at all, Janae. And unfortunately, you can see we've got red flag warnings in effect from Northern California all the way up to North Dakota, where that fire is burning. Today, wind gusts could be in excess of 30 to 35 miles an hour. Plus, it's just so dry, not good for the spread of fires. Now, we're also talking about record heat, right? We do, unfortunately, have record heat again today. We've been having it for the past couple of days. We've got excessive heat warnings in effect, heat advisories in the pink and in the orange. Triple-digit heat is expected today and continues into tomorrow and into early next week. We could set records not only in Reno, but Salt Lake City and even San Diego. Back to you, Eva.
All right. Thanks, Danielle.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the
y'all heard
ABC News YouTube channel.
She getting pretty severe out there. Now I want to play doggone this thing taking its time. Hold on, brothers. Trying to make our plans here for what we're about to eat. Let's see. All right, Salakia. Yeah, we got about 35 more minutes, and it's on. So yeah, so you can see that right there. Wildfires and heat situation is bad out west. Over here it's pretty damn mild. It was kind of cool, not cool, but it wasn't, like in the 80s over here in South Carolina. I'm just bracing myself for this damn hurricane season. As I said before, I want to play another quick video here. This is this one I just came across, and I'm like wondering, I didn't even watch it all. It's 2 minutes and 15 seconds long. It says Atlanta Popeyes calls police on student trying to buy homeless man food. So a student was trying to buy a homeless dude some food, and then the people in Popeyes called the police on the girl. Check it out here.
I'll wait and say if I get arrested, that's fine.
A Georgia State University student says workers at a Popeyes called the police on her after she tried to buy food for a man believed to be homeless. That's where we start. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Eric Perry. Video of the incident has been seen by nearly a
Look at this guy. He's super feminine. Look at him. I'm gonna wind it back.
Homeless. That's where we start tonight. Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Eric Perry. Video of the incident has been seen by nearly 1 million people on TikTok. Tonight, the woman who risked arrest to buy a man that meal speaks only with News Edge reporter Renzo.
GSU senior Joe Ortega was door dashing last week at the Popeyes off of Ponce. She noticed a man off to the side who looked hungry. When she offered to get him food, this was how employees reacted.
No, ma'am, you can't do it.
Why? He's asking for food.
Ma'am, you can't do it. I don't care nothing about you recording me, baby.
May I have your name so I can let the people know?
You gotta pick up the phone and start recording. So I'm like, this is ridiculous. Are you serious?
Joe Ortega says she was just trying to do a good deed.
I can't order for this homeless man right here who asked for food.
Her initial disbelief that employees wouldn't let her buy a two-piece for the man experiencing homelessness.
They called the cops on me, everything, bro.
Quickly turned into anxiety when the cop showed up.
At that moment, I was terrified. I thought I was going to get arrested. So I was like, well, maybe I should just call my family and tell them I might not be coming home tonight.
APD confirmed that they did respond, but they didn't do anything since Ortega didn't break any laws. She says they actually commended her.
The officer pulled me to the side and was like, I really thank you for doing that. Thank you for buying him food. I appreciate that.
Also grateful that man with the empty stomach caught in the middle of all of the drama over drumsticks.
My name's Jazz, and thanks to...
Ortega says she eventually got a hold of a general manager at the store who felt terrible about the whole thing. She said he ended up letting her and Jazz buy anything they wanted that night.
Oftentimes, the homeless are treated like stray animals, stray cats. Like if you feed them, they're going to keep coming back. We don't want them to keep coming back. And in all of this, I believe that, people deserve to be treated like people.
And after all the online attention, Popeyes said in a statement to Fox 5 that all of their employees at that store have been retrained on how to talk to guests. Ortega has started an online fundraiser to help Jazz find permanent housing. In Atlanta, Rob DiRienzo, Fox 5 News.
And really, that just go to show you how fucking evil a lot of black people are, man. And particularly damn black women. You got a lot of black women that's fucking evil. What do you care? You inside the store working. What do you care if this lady want to buy a home to do some food? You gonna call the police? That's fucking dumb, man. Just ridiculous. Anyway, that's scripture though. The love of many shall wax cold, right? Damn niggas. Here it is. If you homeless, you hungry, you needed some food. You'll want somebody to buy something for you. I got another video here. I don't know if this thing is buffering pretty bad. Let's see if we can get it to play. Okay.
Tonight, a Marine on the.
So this one is a former Marine captured in El Salvador after allegedly killing girlfriend. You lock your ass up, you murderous demon. Lock him up. Hold on here. Let's get it together. Yeah, and the brother had put it up. 144,000 fishing, Matthew 24:12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, you see? And that can go for this story we're about to watch now and the one before. I mean, a person should be able to get the basic necessities of food and water, should they not? If you see somebody that's downtrodden and you want to help them, you would think nobody would want to call the police over it. This is Mordecai Benjamin Israel, Lamentations 4:3. Even the sea monsters dry out their breast. They give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people has become cruel like the ostriches in the wilderness. And really, man, right here lately, this damn so-called black woman is almost goddamn unbearable. Right? When you see them, you just want to go the other way. We talking about the women of the world. We ain't talking about the sisters. Don't leave us no comment. Your own sisters, brother. Shut the fuck up. We ain't talking about these sisters. We talking about these damn nigga women in the world, just like these damn niggas. But even in the world, among so-called black men, even if they are demons, you got a little bit of honor among so-called black men, even if they are gangsters. Gangsters have a little bit of dignity about themselves. Not these selfish bitches, these selfish nigga woman hoes. They ain't got no dignity, man. Anyway, let's listen.
Tonight, a Marine on the U.S. Marshals top 15 most wanted list is in custody after allegedly killing his girlfriend in San Diego and fleeing to Mexico 6 years ago. Raymond McLeod, also known as RJ, was finally arrested in El Salvador this week. The U.S. Marshal Service saying local authorities took him into custody after they got a tip that McLeod was working as an English teacher at a nearby school.
I was like, it's him. Oh my God, it's him. It is him. It just hit me all of a sudden. He's even wearing his combat boots on.
The 37-year-old was wanted by San Diego police since June of 2016, when officers were called to an apartment complex for reports of a woman who was not breathing, finding signs of a struggle when they got there. First responders found 30-year-old Crystal Mitchell, a mother of two, dead at the scene. Crystal's mother, Josephine, is a former police detective who called on those investigative skills to help find McLeod.
I just turned pain into power.
The San Diego district attorney says she's generated leads and has been instrumental in helping authorities search. She even started a group called Angels of Justice to help other families in similar situations.
I miss Crystal so much. Her laughter still rings in my ears. And as a matter of fact, when we caught up to McLeod, I could hear her laughing, just bellowing out that laughter like, Mom, you did it. You got it.
Our attempts to reach McLeod's family were unsuccessful. Law enforcement experts saying this case is unusual due to the amount of time McLeod was on the run.
I absolutely do think his military training played a role. For one, he was trained extensively on how to evade people that are looking for him, such as opposing military forces. And for two, he probably has a lot more street smarts and awareness of how to use resources in his environment.
The San Diego district attorney issued a statement saying, quote, "This defendant's brazen attempt to evade justice is over, and the work to hold him accountable in a court of law for the murder of Crystal Mitchell can now begin." The DA also saying McLeod has a history of violence with previous partners. Now that he's in custody, U.S. Marshals Director Ronald Davis saying in a statement, quote, "It is our sincere hope that his capture brings some sense of relief to Crystal Mitchell's family, especially her mother, Josephine Wenzel, who has worked so diligently with law enforcement these past years to see this day of justice arrive."
I don't want people to think that they have to be former investigators to fight for justice. It's the mother in me that fought for justice.
Incredible work by that mom right there. Stephen Romo joins us now on set. And Steve, we were just talking about this. One of the sad parts of all this story is that that person, the suspect now in custody, he actually had a history of violence.
Yeah, from what we know, at least two that authorities are telling us about. One of them happened in Arizona in 2009. He was put on probation in order to complete domestic violence counseling. And then in 2016, just months before Crystal was killed, he was charged with injuring his spouse in Riverside, California. And for that, he pleaded not guilty and was granted bail, which he was still out on when Crystal was found dead. Authorities say he then fled after that time.
Thanks for watching our YouTube.
He looked like he might have been a steroid freak, but even if he wasn't, now he's gonna be a prison bitch. Kill somebody, and take your ass to prison, man. Really, in reality, in the scriptures, you're supposed to die if you kill somebody. That's what's supposed to happen to you. But it is what it is. This one, before we go back to the NBC Nightly News, this one is from Gravitas. Russia shuts Nord Stream 1 gas pipeline to Europe. So let's check it out, all right? Hold on here. Here we go.
Europe's worst nightmare is coming true. Winter is around the corner and their biggest gas pipeline has been shut, the Nord Stream 1. It was Vladimir Putin's trump card against Europe, a card that he has used before. The pipeline was first closed in the month of July. Russia is setting out repair works. 10 days, the gas flow resumed. Now they've done it again. Russian power company Gazprom has closed off Nord Stream 1. Their excuse is the same as July, repair works. Gazprom says this is temporary. They say the pipeline will reopen 3 days later, but Europe cannot take that chance. Let me tell you why. Nord Stream 1 is the biggest gas pipeline between Europe and Russia. It transports 55 billion cubic meters of gas. You cut that off and you plunge Europe into darkness. That's what Putin is counting on. After Europe imposed sanctions on Russia, he began choking their gas supply. First, it was reduced to 40% of full capacity, and since July, it's 20%. So what did Europe do? They began filling up their gas reserve. They reduced consumption and diverted supplies to their stock. But that process is still not complete. The EU's gas storages are at 79% capacity. Germany is at 83%. To fill the rest, they need gas from Nord Stream 1. Vladimir Putin knows this. So he played the trump card. He shut off the pipeline. Where does that leave Europe? For now, their reserves should be enough. After all, temperatures are still high in Europe. The heating season has not yet started. German officials feel their country is better placed than the last time.
We do not really understand the technical need for this renewed maintenance from Russia. But in the meantime, Germany is now better prepared. We have filled the storage facilities better. We are getting gas from Norway, Holland, Belgium, soon France. We are saving gas, and in this respect, I assume that we will be able to cope with this for the time being.
Well, the last part is key. We'll be able to cope for the time being. It does not sound like a solid energy strategy. The fact is, Europe needs alternatives. It cannot rely on Russian gas supplies during the coming winter. If they do, there will be shortages. So what options do they have? The European Union is proposing an emergency intervention. The plan has two parts. The immediate goal is to bring down energy bills. The long-term goal is to change how the energy market works. Let's deal with the first part, bringing down bills. European gas prices are going through the roof. They're 12 times higher than last year. Inflation hit an all-time high of 9.1% in August. Both these problems can be attributed to the same cause, Russia's gas warfare. To solve this crisis, Europe has limited options. Number one, they could cap energy costs. Both Spain and Portugal are already doing this. They have placed a legal limit on how high the energy costs can be. Just one problem. The strategy must be pan-Europe. If not, suppliers will just export to countries without a price cap. Option two is import restrictions. Europe could decide to limit the price of Russian gas imports. But again, the problem is obvious. Why would Russia agree to such a cap? They would much rather burn off that energy. In fact, they're already doing this. A Russian gas plant near Finland is burning off huge quantities of natural gas, almost $10 million worth of gas every day. Option number three is windfall taxes. Europe could take a slice from the profits of big oil. They can easily afford it. Norwegian firm Equinor paid $3 billion in dividends last month. France's Total Energy saw their income triple. So the windfall tax is a viable option. Europe could use this extra money to subsidize energy for consumers. Now, those are the three immediate options for Europe. What about the long-term option? Now, that is a lot more complicated. Right now, Europe's electricity market is based on wholesale prices. It means every type of producer bids into it. The nuclear plants, the windmills, the gas plants, all of them. But the final rate is based on gas. Now, usually, it is the most expensive source of energy. Now, why would Europe design such a strange system? After all, green energy is a lot cheaper. The electricity generated from wind is less expensive than the power generated from gas. Yet both are sold at the same rate. What explains this? The idea was to incentivize green energy by selling at higher costs. Green producers could make more profits, and more profits equals more investments. That was the whole thrust behind this plan. But today's situation is completely different. Green energy is still as cheap as it was in 2021, but gas prices are 12 times higher. Now, do you see the problem here? I'll explain with an example. Assume that you produce 1 unit of solar power for $1. 1 unit for $1. You can also produce 1 unit of gas power, but for $10. Now, ideally, those 2 units should have separate costs. But that's not the case in Europe. In Europe, the final price will be decided by the gas producer, hence the problem. The European Union is hoping to change this on September 9th. Their energy officials will convene a special meeting. They're expected to announce some big reforms. How big? Well, that depends on how united they are. As for Russia, their gas warfare is not ending anytime soon. Gazprom just posted a profit of $41 billion in the last 6 months. Imagine that, $41 billion. So much for boycotting Russian gas. The fact is, Putin has a lot more leverage here than Europe. Earlier, we thought gas trade would be a double-edged sword. If Europe needed Russian gas, Russia also needed European money. Well, it turns out that's not the case. Gas prices are so high that these pipeline shutdowns will not really hurt Putin. He was supplying just 40% of total capacity since March. Yet Gazprom made $41 billion in profits. So all this talk about javelins and HIMARS and MiG-29s, turns out the biggest weapon of this war is energy. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news.
So this is good news for the Israelites. Like the old saying goes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Not that we friendly to Russia, but look what they're doing. And they're doing that to get on the nerves because they know that Europe, the European countries are allies of America, Babylon the Great. And they're showing their might and force, by restricting that pipeline, shutting it off. So this is gonna make nations more apt to go into World War III. Russia's becoming a problem for all these different nations, not just America, not just Ukraine, but also for Europe, which is great. We love it. We love it. Let's see here what we got on the comment board, brothers. So this is Mordecai Benjamin Israel, Revelation 17 and 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast. The beast is the Roman Empire, okay? America, Babylon the Great, NATO, and the EU. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. The whore specifically is America, Babylon the Great, which is a part of the beast, but it's also sitting on top of the beast because it's steering it, it's driving it, right? And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So this is eventually what we pray comes soon, which is the destruction of Babylon the Great. More brothers going live. It's so busy right now. We got this internet on fire. And going back to that other story with that damn with all sinners, let's just say it like that, but particularly with this Marine that killed his girlfriend. This is GMS Mayaka Yahawada, Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before the Most High. So it reminds me of the song that Johnny Cash wrote. Sooner or later, God will cut you down. You can get away with some shit for a little while, but sooner or later, man, the Most High gonna get you. He's gonna tear you down. So this right here is going back to the news, NBC nightly news. Let's go back a little bit, and we're gonna let this thing play. It should play better now with all the buffering, because all those other windows are closed. But let's see what we get out of it. Check it out.
California, the fires.
Yeah, Kate, authorities have been searching the area for 2 days, but only just confirming those deaths. Meanwhile, utilities here still concerned about overwhelming the power grid. The top danger, too much demand, too many people at home cranking the air conditioning. Kate?
All right, Raph, thank you. In Virginia, 2 people have died after someone opened fire at a college party packed with students overnight. Police are still searching for the killer. Across the country, it has been another weekend marred by gun violence. Here's Maggie Vespa.
Tonight, weeks into the new school year, America's latest mass shooting, this time near a college campus.
Multiple gunshot victims, possibly one female shot into the head.
Authorities in Norfolk, Virginia, confirming a shooter early this morning opened fire at an off-campus party near Old Dominion University. 7 shot, 2 killed. Angelia McKnight, a 19-year-old student at another school, Norfolk State University. This as police work with federal authorities to find the shooter, who is still at large.
The violence must end now. As children return to school,
The Virginia shooting, one flashpoint amid a violent weekend. In Minnesota, gunshots sparking a panicked stampede at a packed state.
And y'all hold on real quick, because I'm gonna try to get this. I'm gonna close this browser and open it back up. See if we can't get this thing to play without all them damn delays. Just hold on here. Because that's aggravating. You try to watch news, you got to watch it like that. See if we can get it to work a little better. And it's real quick. I'll read this while we're waiting for it to open up. Seems like my computer speeded up a little bit without all the pull from those other channels being open. Just hold on here. This is Kabar Shah Shalawam, Amos 3 and 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord hath not done it? So we know that all the evil being done, the Most High is allowing people to get judged. Different things are happening to different individuals, right? And ain't nobody innocent. This is GMS of war. Job 4 and 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? Absolutely. Let's get this news report going here. Yeah, verse 8. Hold on, brothers. If we read that verse 8. This thing's still kind of buffering. Oh well, we tried. Let's give it a chance. Job 4 and 7. We'll read 7 and 8 together. Right? Job 4 and 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent. Doggone it. Or where were the righteous cut off? Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. And it goes on to say, by the blast of the Most High, they perish. This is GMS Lafayette, Temple of the Lord, Psalm 68 and 20. He that is our God is the God of salvation, and unto the Most High the Lord belong the issues from death, as we always get. People getting judged left and right. Here we go.
Another school, Norfolk State University. This as police work with federal authorities to find the shooter who is still at large.
The violence must end now. As children return to school,
The Virginia shooting one flashpoint amid a violent weekend. In Minnesota, gunshots sparking a panicked stampede at a packed state fair. Police last night saying one person was shot in the leg.
Somebody to engage in such a brazen act in a crowd of people with no regard for the safety or the lives of others is just disgusting, in my opinion.
In Florida, 5 people were shot, 2 of them killed after someone opened fire inside a packed restaurant. In Maryland, 1 person dead, several injured in 2 separate shootings, one outside a 7-Eleven. Minutes away in Largo, moviegoers flee a theater after 1 person was shot in a parking lot. And on Friday, a deadly shooting outside a Baltimore high school shortly after students were dismissed for the day. The holiday weekend violence shining a spotlight on America's struggle to stem a surge in shootings. According to the Gun Violence Archive, more than 30,000 people have lost their lives to gun violence this year, with 458 mass shootings.
Damn.
Kate, all right, Maggie, thank you. Let's get to some.
Yeah, and there's a lot of violence going on, right? I want to go back to this brother's scripture that he had put up earlier. This is 144,000 fishing. I thought I had it. Damn thing went all the way back. Hold up. This is 2 Timothy 3 and 3. This know also that in the last days, it's 3 and 1. This know also that in the last days, perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High. And that's what we live in now, right? Lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High. And people are very proud. See, So there's no telling at any time now, any place, judgment can just play out. As we've been saying, since the gospel's being preached, anybody, anywhere can get it at any time. Let's continue on.
Breaking news right now from Canada, where police are actively searching for two men wanted after a deadly stabbing rampage in Saskatchewan province. They say at least 10 people were stabbed to death in 13 locations on Native Canadian reservations. At least 15 others were wounded.
Good afternoon.
The Canadian police say it appears the victims were attacked at random. There are major new developments tonight in the search for the missing Memphis school teacher. Police have charged a man in her kidnapping, but he is not saying where she is. Now the woman's family is speaking out. Jesse Kirsch is in Memphis with the latest.
Tonight, authorities converging on this Memphis neighborhood, scouring the area as the search for this missing mother stretches into a third straight day. This morning, police saying they found Eliza Fletcher's alleged captor, announcing 38-year-old Cleotha Abston has been charged with especially aggravated kidnapping and tampering with evidence, saying he violently abducted Fletcher Friday and won't tell police where to find the mother of two.
More than anything, we want to see Liza returned home safely.
Saturday, 34-year-old Fletcher's prominent Memphis family sharing this video, her husband clearly distraught, at times wiping away tears. And tonight, new details adding to the heartbreak. According to court documents, surveillance video early Friday captured the moment the suspect got out of this SUV, ran aggressively toward Fletcher on her morning jog, and forced the junior kindergarten teacher into the vehicle before driving away. Hours later, the affidavit says two witnesses, including Abston's brother, reported seeing the suspect wash his clothes in a sink and clean the inside of the car with floor cleaner, behaving oddly. All before authorities found their suspect, thanks in part to what was left behind at the scene, including a pair of sandals with DNA allegedly matching Abston's, helping lead to that SUV and Abston himself. Police confirming to NBC News he pled guilty in another kidnapping case more than 20 years ago.
It's just awful to see the evil that's in the world. And we just are praying with hope that she will be found alive.
With her church, family, and school all reeling from this tragic disappearance, tonight there's still hope this nightmare will end with good news.
I have always admired her strength as a mother and as a teacher, and she's just a beautiful person.
And Jesse joins me now from Memphis. Jesse, what's next in this investigation?
At this point, it's still an active search for Eliza Fletcher. Meanwhile, her alleged abductor is expected to make his first court appearance on Tuesday. Kate?
All right, Jesse, thank you. Former President Trump was back in front of his...
You know, this evil nigga done did something. I mean, hopefully they'll find the lady, but don't look good.
Supporters for the first time last night since that search of his Florida home last month. He went on the attack against the FBI and his successor. Monica Alba has more.
Yeah, we don't care about that. We're going to move on. That's a distraction. The whole Trump talk. Let's move on, see what else we can see. Mississippi water crisis. Let's go there.
Thank you. Jackson, Mississippi is now on day 7 of having no drinkable safe water. Today, the head of FEMA said it was too early to say when the problem can be fixed. They're focusing on getting bottled water to residents. There was some good news, though. Engineers were able to improve water pressure, but residents are still being told to boil the water. Still ahead tonight, the hours of terror after a man allegedly stole a plane and threatened to crash it into a Walmart. New questions tonight about airport security. The airport worker who stole a small plane threatened to crash it into a Walmart and terrified thousands of people for hours this weekend.
Look at this guy. This nigga stole a plane. So he gonna crash it into the Walmart. Damn. People don't give a damn, boy. These some petty ass people these days.
And made his first court appearance
Demons.
today. His actions raising new questions about just how secure smaller airports are. Blaine Alexander has more from Tupelo, Mississippi.
Tonight, no bond for 29-year-old Corey Patterson facing charges after police say he flew this twin-engine plane for more than 5 hours, threatening to crash into a Walmart before finally landing in this field. It ended nearly 50 miles north of where it began, Tupelo Regional Airport.
Officials say Patterson worked here for nearly a decade, refueling planes. They say that gave him access to the aircraft, including the one authorities say he took early Saturday.
Basically, it was a flying bomb with a lot of fuel in it that could have done a lot of damage.
All of it is placing more attention on non-commercial plane safety. Experts say where TSA is not present, there is no standard security across the board, and it's very difficult to regulate.
There's not screening because that would be similar to screening you before you get into your own personal car or before you got into a taxi cab or something like that, because if they either own their own plane or they're just chartering another aircraft.
And for employees, it varies from airport to airport. But even then,
if I have authorization to be near the aircraft, there's really very little in terms of a regulatory perspective that would stop somebody from doing what this guy did.
it's a startling scenario that has played out before. 3 years ago, a 17-year-old tried to steal a plane at the Fresno Yosemite Airport, but crashed into a building before she could leave the ground. And in 2018, Richard Russell took this Alaskan Airlines jet. He ultimately crashed the plane and died. But experts say to try and regulate tens of thousands of non-commercial airports is just not feasible.
I think that it is so difficult to try and figure out how to apply reasonable security measures to prevent something that is so few and far between, and so far has not resulted in tragedy.
Blaine Alexander, NBC News, Tupelo, Mississippi.
We are back in a moment with an NFL tryout for a new, safer helmet, how it could keep high school players healthy too, and the wild car chase on a sidewalk in New York City. We're back with a wild scene on the streets of New York City. Look at this video. A black Mercedes chasing down a silver Toyota on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, then crashes into it over and over again, finally pushing it up onto the sidewalk. An armed passenger jumped out of the Mercedes, and police say robbed the Toyota driver of $20,000 before getting back into his car and driving off. The Mercedes was found abandoned a few blocks away.
How did they know that the guy had $20,000? How did they know he had a bag of money in the car? That's what I don't want to. That's what I don't understand.
The NFL season opens this week, and a new piece of equipment debuted in training camp, a helmet designed to cut down on potentially devastating head injuries. Lindsay Reiser tonight on the preseason tryout.
Practice for the Washington Commanders looks and sounds different this preseason.
You hear the plastic, you hear the big clacking. But when they have the Guardian caps, you don't hear it.
The Guardian caps are these new odd-looking helmet covers. The NFL required many positions to practice in them through part of the preseason.
You recognize the fact that it has taken some of the impact off their helmets.
The NFL records hundreds of concussions a year. They've been working with laboratories to build and test a better helmet. Last year, we reported some of the testing. How many helmets do you think you've put through the ringer here?
Oh, I would say now we're more than 1,000 helmets.
For players, the Guardian cap has been an adjustment.
At first, I wasn't sure what to think about it, but I'm always open to change.
Other players are taking longer to come around. Arizona Cardinals defensive end J.J. Watt has jokingly called it a beehive.
If it's really, something that's going to help the players with health and safety, why not?
The NFL says hit impact is reduced by 10% if one player is wearing it, by 20% if both players are wearing it, and the company says up to 33% for slower and smaller players like high school.
High schools like Northwestern in South Carolina.
I think that the statistics will prove that wearing the Guardian cap really prevents some of the head injuries that are occurring.
Now more than 2,000 high schools are using them, and colleges too, like Catholic University in Washington, D.C.
We've had one head injury so far during training camp, and that's it, and that is way down.
Head coach Mike Gutilius says when his players take a hit, it's personal.
When you see one of them take a shot, whether it's an ankle, a knee, or their head, I really want to make sure that I do all I can to have them have that brain fully intact.
Back at the Commanders' practice, the NFL mandate has expired, and players now have to decide if they want to continue wearing them.
It's pretty heavy, right?
Yeah.
And you got to wear it every day. Yeah.
Despite the weight, front guard Wes Schweitzer says he'll keep wearing it during practice throughout the season.
I've had concussions in my career, and I felt like it reduced the head impacts for me.
Why did the mandate just go until the second preseason game? Why not continue?
Well, I think we had to see exactly what the success is, and from that point, we'll probably take a good long look at it.
Changing the sights and sounds of the game to keep players safer. Lindsay Rise, News, Washington. Really interesting. When we come back, a late summer night's dream. Everyday New Yorkers get the chance of a lifetime to perform Shakespeare.
Yeah, we ain't gonna watch that. Nobody cares about that. Let's just see if there's anything left. We can get out of this. Doesn't look like there is. That's gonna do it. So the Day of Atonement is over. Got the water already. Let's read a few of these scriptures and then we can shut it down. So this is Gabar Shah Shalom, Ephesians 5:15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Yeah, we're living in an evil time, man. If you got any money like that, the one brother said that a female tipped him off. Even with that, how the hell she knew he had $15,000 or $20,000? You can't tell. If you get money now, you can't even tell nobody. Jim S. Lafayette, Temple of the Lord, 2nd Esdras 14:16. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. That's right. You're in a more wicked time than ever before. We'll shut it down right here. This is Gabar Shah Shalom, Isaiah 13:9. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. I'll hit you all with one myself here, and then we'll go ahead and close out the lesson. So, Day of Atonement is over. Let's get some food. 2 Thessalonians. What is it? I think is it chapter 2? No. 1 Thessalonians and 4. Let's see if that's it. They got the wrong damn chapter. This is 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 1. It says, but of the times and seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night, which we know that to be true. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all children of the light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Those of us that's in the truth, we're not of the night, we're not in the darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet the hope of salvation. Why? For the Most High hath not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. Wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do. So, to those of you on the East Coast, the Day of Atonement should be over for you, I believe. All right. So go ahead and get some water, some fruit, some food, whatever you get, and that's it. So that's it for the news. We'll see you again soon with another lesson, Lord willing. All right. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. All right. Shalom.